So I get a lot of questions about suspension, and one of the most common ones is, what does a rear sway bar do, and does it really make that big of a difference? So I decided to put together a little video showing just what a rear sway bar does. Rear sway bar will make a difference in all sorts of situations. Has very little effect on ride quality, but it greatly improves turn-in. One of the most common issues with these cars is understeer. You go into a corner, you turn, and the car doesn't want to turn as much as you like it to. That's because these cars are naturally designed to understeer for safety, but that's not fun and it's not fast. Swapping the stock rear sway bar to an aftermarket sway bar will dramatically improve turn-in and just make the car more enjoyable to drive. This will help in all sorts of corners, switchbacks, anything really when you're turning. But one of the best places to really show this is on an on-ramp. I'm going to give a little demonstration, show just how the car understeers naturally, then not go for the fastest line through the corner. I'm just going to try to lean into it a little bit and show you how the front end wants to wash out, how it doesn't really turn in how I'd like it to. Then they throw on an 034 Motorsport rear sway bar and show what a difference it makes on the turning of the car. In particular, how the car rotates through the corner and responds to steering and throttle inputs. Show this difference. I'm in my 2009 Audi A3 Quattro 2-liter turbo. Currently has WRD Advantage Street Plus coilovers, 034 Motorsport density line strut mounts, and Continental Extreme Contact DW tires. Tires are pretty worn, but that's not going to affect the balance too much. That's just going to affect the overall grip, so it'll still give a good demonstration before and after of how the car handles. I'm going to be doing this with traction and stability control off so you can see how the balance of the car reacts. And I'm not going to be trying to go as fast as possible through the corner. In fact, I'm going to go in a little heavier than I might normally, just to really give a good example of how the car's front end wants to wash out. Once I get to the limits of grip. And again, through this on-ramp you'll see front end's just constantly fighting for grip. So the front end's just wanting to wash away from me, having to tap a little brake, and then on the wind out you just hear the front tires screaming for grip. Gonna do one more run showing how the car reacts with the stock rear sway bar. Turn in, the front end just wants to wash away, and all through the corner really. I lift and it kind of tucks in a little bit. I'm constantly having to scrub speed or lift off the throttle just to keep the front end where I want it, otherwise the whole front end will just wash away. So that gives a little example how the balance of the car is on the stock sway bars. I wanted to be able to go and swap it out immediately and do another back-to-back run showing the 034 Motorsport sway bar and how it reacted. Unfortunately, due to some extenuating circumstances, I'm not going to be able to do that today. So I'll get the rear sway bar installed this week and do some footage next weekend with the sway bar on it. And you can see just how much of an effect that has on the balance and the turn-in of the vehicle. Shows should be a lot of fun. So finally getting around to installing the 034 rear sway bar. Here we have the twig of a factory rear sway bar. You can see that thing's tiny and doesn't do a whole lot. Gonna be swapping that out with a much beefier 034 rear sway bar and the hardware that comes along with it. So this is gonna make a big difference, and we'll get this thing up on here. Alright, got the 034 bar in here. Nice billet brackets. Install went very smoothly. Everything fit easily. Now we get to go play with it on the road, see how it goes. Alright, so got the rear sway bar installed. Install was super easy. Took, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes. That was taking my time. Everything went real smooth. Now going to do the demonstration of how the car reacts with the 034 Motorsport rear sway bar installed. Gotta say, I'm really looking forward to this. I've been dealing with the understeer this car has for ever since I got it. This is going to be fun. As before, I'm going to have the traction and stability control disabled. On this car, it's a two-step system, so if I touch or press the button once, it turns off just traction control. If I press and hold the button, first it turns off traction control, then after about 5 seconds it disables stability control as well. Now I have the rear bar set to its stiffer setting. It's a 2-position bar. It's because I want to get rid of as much understeer as possible and hopefully get this car rotating on a trailing throttle. If you're not comfortable with the car doing that, I highly recommend starting with the car on, or with the bar on its softer setting. It's a little safer this way, as you get a feeling for how the bar reacts and how the car is going to respond to various conditions and throttle inputs. I'm going to use the same 2 sections of on-ramp as before. Hopefully it'll give a pretty good example of just how the car reacts. Alright, let's see how this car reacts now. Way better response on throttle lift. You can even get a low rotation. That was a big difference over before. Alright, let's try this again. Yeah, feel that? You can actually get the car starting to rotate when you tip off the throttle, and you can get on the throttle way earlier coming through the corner. That is a significant improvement. Before, I was constantly fighting to manage understeer, just trying to keep the front end basically where I wanted and prevent it from washing out. Now the car is much more neutral. It's not tail happy. It's still very manageable.
Stopped on shoulder ahead.
Still very manageable, but man, did that take out a lot of the understeer. I'm even starting to get some rotation on the rear end. I could use a little more grip on the front, and this car will be just super nicely balanced after a little more work. But man, what a difference. Alright, before, where I was constantly having to manage the front end, now I can really let the car's chassis go. Just put way more power through the corner, and really at the overall limits instead of just trying to manage the front end. Man, that's so much better than before. I'm going to be having a lot of fun with this rear sway bar. Alright, let's give this one more run.
than before because I can get on the throttle a lot earlier and unwind out of the corner. Overall, just a much better package for one simple part. Really happy with it.